Thank you. Can we give a round of applause, please? Your Excellencies, very distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to kindly also ask that please return off all weapons of mass distraction, your mobile phones and recorder. Kindly put them on silent throughout the course of this event. My name is Ofo. My pleasure is to serve as your master of ceremony for the course of today's event. I will switch gears immediately by recognizing, of course, some very eminent personalities that have joined us here today. Please can we give all our VIPs a round of applause, please? In absentia, representing the top leadership of Nigeria's oil industry and a beacon of policy stewardship, I'd like to welcome the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Senator Henikan Lopobri, ably represented by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Petroleum Resources, Nicholas Abo-Ela, ASQ. A round of applause for him. Also in absentia, ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, Right Honorable Ekberipe Ebo. I'd like to recognize the leader at the helm of Africa's most strategic energy company, charting a bold course for energy security, the Group Chief Executive Officer of NNPC Limited, Mr. Bayo Ojulari, ably represented by the Executive Vice President Upstream, Engineer Ubong Ntia. Welcome, sir. Of course, we'd like to welcome the regulatory. Please celebrate him once again as he comes to take his seat. The Executive Vice President Upstream, Engineer Ubong Ntia. Of course, the regulatory compass guiding Nigeria's downstream and midstream transformation, Authority Chief Executive of Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Engineer Farouk Ahmed. A round of applause for him, please. Upholding upstream excellence with clarity and consistency. The Commission Chief Executive of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, Engineer Benga Komolafe, ably represented by the Executive Commissioner, Development and Production, NUPRC, Engineer Endurance Madison. Welcome to you, sir. We acknowledge the presence of our hosts and partners, of course, from scholarships to strategy, is funding the future of oil and gas grids. Executive Secretary of the PTDF, Mr. Ahmed Galadima Aminu, represented by the GM project, Mrs. Ifeoma Nwokike. Round of applause for her. We acknowledge the presence of a loyal supporter of energy innovation and sustainability sponsorship, the Managing Director and the CEO of Unisa Limited, Mr. Chika Ikeda. Round of applause for him, please. We acknowledge the presence of a strategic mind and the stabilizing force behind SPE Nigeria's vision, the POT Chairman of SPEC, Mr. Emeka Ene, alongside all other POT members. Celebrate you, sir. Joining us virtually, she leads, she plans, she delivers, and she is our council chair. A round of applause for the Chairman SPE Nigerian Council, Engineer Amina Jangadami, joining us virtually, please. Of course, the reliable right-hand vice, but always in front when it comes to dedication. Please, a round of applause for Engineer Francis Nwauche here present. Celebrate you. We also acknowledge the presence of the Council Secretary, Engineer Ikechukwu Okafor, and of course, all esteemed Council members here present. We switch gears to recognizing another transformational thinker and subsurface strategy and energy leadership, the General Manager of Development and Subsurface Renaissance Africa Energy Pool Limited, Mr. Abdulrahman Ijinyawa. Round of applause for him. We met some weeks ago. Thank you so much for everything you do for SPE Nigeria. He knows what's beneath the surface of both wells and human potential. We acknowledge the presence of the General Manager Wells and Geoscience Operations, SNECO, Mr. Joseph Morty. Round of applause for him. Recognize the presence of all of our Energy Forum panelists, representing one of Africa's most admired E&P companies and a true believer in value-driven energy transition. We celebrate the CEO of Seplat, Mr. Roger Brown, ably represented by the COO, Mr. Samson Ezumori. So, round of applause for him. Thank you so much for joining us today. Okay. We also say a warm welcome and, of course, acknowledge the presence of the Manager Services, NNPC Upstream Investment Managing Services News, Aliu Ahmed Lawal. A warm welcome to you. Please, a round of applause. The next person I'm acknowledging is a vocal force behind a rising indigenous E&P player with continental aspirations. The managing director, Chapel Energies Limited, Ufoma Emmanuel. Welcome to you. Round of applause. We also welcome a triple helix thinker, software genius, and reservoir systems architect. Of course, the technical director and COO of Cypher Crescent Limited, Tanguan Ebe. Welcome to you, sir. We acknowledge the presence of a woman of excellence and energy committed to power access and rural transformation. The group managing director of Geometric Power, Dr. Agatha Naji, every represented by the senior manager legal barrister, Mrs. Jessica Bello. Round of applause. Coming back home, we recognize the presence of the conference chair for SPE Nigeria, Mrs. Ugochi Apiu. Mrs. Greta, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, a man who can plan a conference with military precision and smiles through it. The OLEF 2024 planning chair, Captain Aristotle John Emeze. Welcome to you. Your Excellencies, very distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I will continue with the introduction as the names of our VIPs keep getting to me. Say a warm welcome once again to the MD MNPC Engineering and Technical Company, Dr. Tony Alama. Warm welcome to you, sir. Thank you for joining us today. Welcome members of the SPE, eminent senior members, YP student members, gentlemen of the press, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, you're welcome to the Oloikuri Lecture Series and Energy Forum. Should in case you need the brochure or the program of events, the ushers on your left and your right will kindly give you a barcode to scan and you can download them. After my opening remarks, we switch gears immediately to a welcome remarks by our council chair. After that, we have the sponsors remark. We switch gears immediately to the state of the industry address and a few good messages. And after we're done with the good messages, we have another set of sponsors remark, and then we switch gears again to keynote addresses, about 3 of them, and then the theme lecture presentation. After we have the 3 speakers have the theme lecture presentation, we have the energy forum discussion session. And then you have the opportunity to ask the questions, and you have the answers, please. For your questions, if you want to pose any questions, kindly contact the ushers on the left and your right. And of course, we'll give you a code to start where you can send your questions. Representatives, we have the vote of thanks and we have the closing ceremony. I believe it's going to be an exciting and, of course, brain stimulating session. And you will give me all of your attention for the next 2 to 3 hours. Would you give me attention? If you give me attention, say aye. The ayes have it. Your Excellencies, very distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we're switching gears virtually right now. It is my distinct honor to welcome a trailblazer and a respected voice in Nigeria's energy landscape. She is the first female to serve as the chairman of SPE Nigeria Council. She's an accomplished engineer, a strategic leader, and advocates for innovation and capacity development. I think your hands should be busy right now. Give it a round of applause as you join us virtually to give a warm welcome. Help me welcome Engineer Amina Janmadami, PhD. Seems celebrating her. Engineer Amina, confirm you can hear us, you can see us.
I can hear you. I can see you.
The stage is yours, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
This is an area where the regulators in the industry must look at. It's not just enough to give concessions, OPL or ML, to your friends, most probably political friends, and they go out and farm out and maintain a city and then don't even know what to do. So these are the areas I would like the new arrangement in the industry to look at in order to maintain a very viable organization to ensure our energy availability and sustainability. Thank you for the period.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's extend our gratitude to Chief Don Tebet for his wise and stirring words shared with the heart of an elder statesman. Even after decades of his distinguished service, his voice remains a compass guiding this generation. Please celebrate him once again. Thank you so much, sir, for your wise words. And while he was speaking, we saw Professor Chidi Ibe, an all industry independence practitioner and director, Co Consultants Limited, working. Please celebrate him once again. Thank you. Another elder statesman we have in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, we switch gears immediately to the last talking segment of this conference, the Energy Forum discussion. But before that, can you all just rise? Can you just rise? Let's have some stretch. Can you have your left leg up, your left leg up, your left leg up? Let me see. Can I have your right leg up, your right leg up, your right leg up? Can I have a left hand up, stretch, 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 stretch. Your left hand up, and then your right hand up. Are you enjoying the conference? Can you give all of our speakers a round of applause? Now, can you just jump, 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 and then you have a seat, have a seat, have a seat.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your Excellencies, very distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we switch gears to the Energy Forum discussion session. Of course, when I call on the participants, they'll have their seats here in front. So let me start by introducing a representative of a transformational leader in the African energy space, the Chief Executive Officer of Seplat Energy, ably represented today by the Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Samson Ezuwari. Of course, he would be speaking and as a panelist in today's discussion. Please help me welcome him on stage as a panelist. Celebrate him, please. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of 2025 Oloribri Lecture Series and Energy Forum. My name is Off of Fonano. Of course, you can call me Off and On. My pleasure it is to engage with all of the amazing professionals for today. I'd like to also announce that we have lunch. Lunch is served. We have lunch for the VIP and, of course, lunch for our distinguished delegate. I also like to wrap up. I'd like to call OLEF Planning Committee to come forward for a group photograph.